Hello my friends and welcome to another pick a card reading. I hope you're all doing marvelously well. It's really good to have you here as always. And today we are looking at what's coming next for you. Now this could be a situation, this could be a change of circumstance, lifestyle, anything. I'm just looking at what is coming next for you. Whenever you choose to watch this reading, we'll give you an idea of what's kind of happening, but this is timeless, so just go with it. If it resonates, it resonates. If it doesn't, it doesn't. Remember, this is just some random reading on YouTube, and just, you know, take what resonates, discard the rest. So with that being said, let's go into the pile choices. Pile 1 with Aragonite. Pile 2 with pink Lepidolite. Lepidolite is pink anyway, but you know. Is that focusing? There we go. And pile 3 with this gorgeous blue KYANITE. Do love me a bit of blue KYANITE, I do. Right, okay, so your pile choices: Aragonite, Lepidolite, and KYANITE. All the ites are out tonight. I know that was really cheesy, forgive me. Pile 1, pile 2, pile 3. Timestamps are in the description box below, my friends, and I'll see your reading. Bye. Hello, pile 1, and welcome to your reading. So you chose this gorgeous Aragonite, which always reminds me of a little like Sputnik kind of design. Which are those little, well, they're not little, it's what the kind of older, or the first, I'm not sure exactly, my history in terms of space travel is not really that good, even though I did want to become an astronaut when I was younger. Just like a little Sputnik, you know, with its little like antenna coming out. So that's what it looks like. But what I also do see is that the direction of energy, with all of these like different crystals that are coming out, these hexagonal crystals, beautiful hexagonal crystals, or not even well, they look hexagonal actually. Yeah, some hexagonal, some of them are square. They are coming out in lots of directions. So that just means that there's a lot of stuff coming out. So it's so interesting, pile 1, because I started your reading last night, and the feeling that I'm getting from it is completely different than I'm getting from it today. So I'm trying to like discard what I felt yesterday, and I'm being reminded of it. But I don't know, my energy is getting pulled elsewhere, which is really interesting. And the thing is that you know, there's lots of things coming out, but what I feel like is that, you know, I feel like you're going through a bit of a detox, to be honest with you. Pile 1. I feel like things are coming out, and what's going on is that as you are healing and extracting, maybe you're doing some kind of like detox or something like that. As you're doing that, you're actually coming across some like gems, because as you can see, there's like bigger parts that kind of like protrude out further, and they actually form these beautiful, like, as you can see, it's like this kind of hexagonal crystal, which I talked about earlier. So with you being able to draw out these, like, I don't know, I do feel like you're detoxing yourself. You may be decluttering. It feels like you are creating something by getting rid of something, if that makes sense. So that's what I'm getting from that. This is about the focus of attention and healing of the focus of attention. That's the spiritual kind of component behind Aragonite. Okay, so the card you've got here is I can ask for support when I need it. I hope you can see that. I can ask for support when I need it. I mean, that's a pretty powerful thing to do, to be able to do. If you feel that you can do that, sometimes it's really difficult to think about that, to ask that. To be able to engage in that. So maybe that's something to think about here. So I'm going to start with your other cards first, because I'm going to start with your oracle first. So the first card we have got, and this one I'm being drawn to, is number 4. So this is a solid foundation. And here it says, with every step you take, you are strengthening the roots of your foundation and your boundless success. Your angels encourage you to stay centered and grounded with steadfast devotion and persistence. You will bring your long-term aspirations to fruition. So, I mean, from this, what I'm seeing is that you maybe have started some kind of exercise routine, something to ground you and stabilize you. And I feel like what is going on is that you're starting to see some kind of results from it. That's what I'm feeling. And I think that some of you may have already asked for the support, but it has been a bit of a challenge for you to do so. So well done for doing that. And because you've done that, you've been able to kind of like really make your foundation clear. Okay, and then I'm just going to do one more and then I'm going to move on to the tarot. Winds of change. Your surroundings will undergo transition. So there's definitely some kind of change that's happening here. But I feel that it's come from a place of stability. Pile 1. So let's have a look. And I think I've just got a feeling that you have come from a place where it hasn't been stable at all. It's actually been quite difficult for you to be stable. But you've had to establish some kind of support. And in establishing the support for yourself, you now understand how to ask for it. How, if you need help in terms of support with self. So for example, say you know that you need to do counseling or something. It would do really well for you to like work, to have some therapy or something, or talk to someone. But instead of that, what you do is you decide to journal. And you journal, and it's really beneficial, and you find that you're starting to organize your thoughts and to do things, but then and be able to kind of get your thoughts in a good clarified order. But then you're like, right, actually I do need to talk this out with someone. I need someone to bounce this out against. So that's when you go forward to asking for support. So that's kind of what I'm seeing. Pile 1. Okay, what's coming next for pile 1? Wow. Okay. I say wow because that was exactly the same card that came up last night when I was doing the reading. Okay, so we've got 10 of Wands, 10 of Coins reversed, Temperance reversed. Okay, I think I see what's going on now. Justice. And, yeah. Sorry, those were my tincture chimes. Thank you. Yeah, that's 1. Wow. Okay, 4 of Coins. So 10 of Coins, Temperance reversed, 10 of Wands, 10 of Coins, and Justice, and 4 of Coins. So I mean, there's definitely this theme of staying within your power, staying kind of locked down, because you're not going to really follow to convention. You're not going to do something that's gonna, I don't know, like, I feel like you're going against the grain here, and it's actually supposed to be that way. If some of you are facing some kind of ancestral trauma situation, that may be something on the cards, no pun intended. But what it seems like is that you're, for example, if you were in a family situation and you had to really knuckle down and be kind of steadfast when other things around you are absolutely not. Like, you can't really tell the behavior of other people. You may be in a family where you've been gaslit, or like people don't listen to you or whatever. So what's going on here is that you have successfully gone against the convention. You've decided like this whole situation kind of like imbalanced you. So now you've decided that you've actually just let it go, and now you're going to take control of the situation for yourself. You understand that you're not going to adhere to family systems and keeping up with the Joneses and actually like people pleasing. And now you're sticking down to your own sense of self, and that's really creating the stability. So in this case, I would say that the Four of Coins is actually a good thing, because it's actually helping you to create this stability that we've got here with this 4. It's actually like really good. And what I'm getting here, interestingly, is, I mean, I have been watching a lot of Game of Thrones recently, so that could be something to do with it, but we're not going to be biased, are we? I mean, like, it reminds me a little bit of Daenerys and her dragons here. So, you know, she got these 3 eggs as a wedding gift, and then it turned out to be her dragons that, you know, made her be able to rule the Iron Throne. So I think that there's this kind of, and because justice is there, it's kind of this the way it has to happen. There has been a real imbalance. Like, it's been really tough. So you've had to do something pretty drastic in order to make things happen, really, to be able to establish some kind of rebalancing, to be honest. So it's been pretty tough. And now, particularly with those 2 10s reversed, it says to me that it's like that person who just has a mental breakdown. Not saying that this is what's happened, but it's like you just like let it all go, in terms of like things have just not been working out, or you either have a bit of a breakdown and then you let it all go. I mean, to be fair, I don't really see the Tower reversed. I just see that there is like major imbalance. So in order for you to like save yourself, you're like, you know what? Fuck this shit. I'm just not doing it anymore. I'm not doing it anymore. I'm locking down and I'm just becoming my own person. Okay, what's coming next for pile 1? What's coming next for pile 1? Could you please clarify temperance? Thank you. Wow, so we've got the World. Okay, so what I get from this beautiful card here, what I get from this is the fact that you can't walk away from this situation. This is not a situation that can be completed. And the whole thing with family is actually really interesting, because, you know, if you're stuck, like, for example, this is just an example, but if you're stuck in like some kind of like family dynamic, which is actually really toxic, but there's nothing that you can do to kind of get out of it, you know, you have to kind of manage it, don't you? So, you know, it could be a work situation, because we've got the 10 of coins here and the 4 of coins. So it could be a work dynamic where you know that it really is grating you. It really is, you know, but it's not over. You've still got work to do there. You've still got things to do there. So you can't walk away from this just yet, but there is a clear recognition that this is something that causes you some form of distress that you need to address. Okay, so the 10 of Wands is clarified by the 8 of Swords. Interesting. Wow, that is such an interesting card. So the 8 of Swords, don't know if you can just see that. There we go. Yeah, so the 8 of Swords is, it was reversed actually. So that's interesting. 10 of Wands, reversed 8 of Swords. So what that says to me is that you really are not having any, you're totally done with this kind of like thought of you having to deal with certain things. So you're like, right, this is not my circus and these are not my monkeys. You know, you're kind of like walking away from this. You recognize that it gave you grief, and now you're like, ain't my stuff. 10 of Coins reversed is clarified by the Hermit reversed. Okay, so what I see by this is that you chose previously to kind of deal with things on your own. You tried to work with things on your own. You tried to like look at your own kind of solutions. So say, for example, it is this thing for work, because it looks like work or family, to be fair. If it was work, then, you know, you were keeping things to yourself. Now you're not doing that. And also, you're just going to just do your own thing and just get on with your job, and you're just going to just do your own thing. And you're going to do it like really well, but like this was inevitable because justice is here. So yeah. And you may have reached out for like, you know, some kind of support. So you may have reached out. Okay, wow, 2 of Cups here. 2 of Cups and Justice. So you will form some kind of partnership with someone that will really help you. That's really interesting with that card there. So where you felt like you were alone before, you reaching out finally is going to give you the opportunity to connect with someone who may be suffering from the same thing. You know, like when like there was that Harvey Weinstein thing, and then everybody started coming out saying, you know, that stuff happened to them too. It's like, you know, the camaraderie that I'm feeling here that you will find with people, and they will understand you. I think, but I'm thinking more one person, but it could be more. It could be like they resonate with your situation. And then the 4 of Coins is clarified by the 8 of Pentacles. Okay, well, I mean, that says to me that you know the hard work that you've done. So coming back to this kind of thing, you're kind of getting rid of all the stuff and getting rid of the toxicity, and people are starting to see the really good stuff about you. And it's because you've done so much work on yourself, and you've taken the time to really understand who you are and what you do and what part you play within the situation. Like basically you've just got your back like super covered. It feels like that you've taken the time to be like, right, okay, if anybody is going to accuse me of anything within this situation, I need to make sure that my back is clean. I need to make sure everything is clean completely, so that I don't get tarred with anything, so that I can really show the situation for what it is. And that in itself will show the crap, you know? Because if you do what you're doing, and you do it like with a clean slate, and you do it in such a pure form where it's just clear, concise, transparent, then it just shows up everybody who isn't functioning within those values. So it's just brilliant, actually. Really, really good. Why did I want to go and do I wanted to do another layer of cards. That's interesting. Shall I do it? Yeah, I will. Because I love you. So yeah, I love you guys. So yeah, let's do it, because I want to know what this is about. So basically, things are changing because you have decided to change. You have decided to change your approach on a situation where you have felt absolutely out of balance, out of sorts, all the rest of it. So now your surroundings have no choice but to change. Could you please clarify the World and Temperance reversed? Wow, the 7 of Coins. Yeah. Okay. So the complacency that you felt within your... So what's going to happen next is that you're taking this action. So you probably already are to a certain extent. So what's going to happen next is that you're going to see that what you're doing is just, you know, you really... So you understand the dissatisfaction of where you are at currently. And now you're actually crafting you're writing a new chapter. I wouldn't go as far as like writing a new story. You're writing, you've closed the last chapter, and you're like, I'm rewriting this chapter, and it's going to be a great chapter. You know, you're taking charge in that respect. Wow. 8 of Wands. And this is going to happen like quicker than you thought. Look at these 8s. So you've got 8 of Swords reversed, and as soon as you start to reclaim your freedom, you're now like going into a space where it's just everything is going to move really fast. And you've also got a blood moon here, so it's like, you know, it's really powerful. I think you might end up inspiring people who really haven't been able to have that kind of strength, courage previously. 9 of Coins is clarifying the Hermit. This is going to bring you in more interesting. We go from the 10 to the 9. So from this kind of like codependency, we're going to pure independence. That's fantastic. You're really going to assert yourself in a way that you never thought that you could before. And people are really going to see you for it. It's actually incredible. Okay, the 2 of Cups is clarified by the 3 of Cups. Wow, I love this. Oh, they're so cute. Look at that. They're really cute. Me. Yeah, so so you're going to find some good people along the way. They're going to come to you. You know, 2 of Cups, then 3 of Cups. They're going to come to you by this kind of like real, I'm not going to let my boundaries be trampled on. I'm not going to be triggered by other fuckers around me. I'm going to actually just stand my ground, do what I've got to do. And I don't care if anybody else likes it or not. I know that I have supporters. I know that what I do is good. So I'm going to do it. So there. Okay? That's what's happening here. And then guess what? They flock to you. They flock to you. Oh, I love this for you, Pile 1. I love this for you. Okay, let's clarify the 8 of Pentacles. Thank you, dear Spirit. Wow, 2 of Coins. Interesting. Very interesting. Okay, so we started off with Temperance reversed, and now we've got the 2 of Coins reversed, which is kind of the lesser version. This is a warning a little bit. It's to say that you have to just be really careful, because at any point the balance could tip. So you have to just keep on maintaining stuff. I think you've got it down pretty hard, because like, you know, you've got the 9 of Coins here. You've got like, you know, you've got 7 of Coins. I do definitely feel like this is to do with work or some kind of stability. But you do also have to recognize that there is a potential. There is a potential. That was the Knight of Wands. There is a potential for you to, and it just keeps on wanting to jump out, that you may take some kind of action and it might fuck up everything. Sorry, I'm saying the F word a little bit, but it's kind of like, it's kind of prevalent here. So you just have to be mindful of that. And also the balance could tip, because the 4 of Coins it could get blocked, you know? So you just have to be mindful of that. So just be watchful of that. That's all I would say. But I think that's what it is. That's what the 8 of Pentacles is here, that you know you have to work at it. Let's say, for example, if you know that at work you get triggered, or if you're surrounded by people that you get triggered a lot by, and you know that you need to change it, that would signify that you have to monitor it. Okay, so let's have a look at your other cards. Time. So things take time, and also you know, the right timing is essential for you to understand, like, when things happen. You know, this was the right time for this to happen. It couldn't happen any earlier. It is what it is. So just making sure that you're aware of that and you understand and respect that is important. Wow, taking risks. That's really interesting. You know, luck, they say that luck is a risk that's taken at the right time. Like, it's a calculated risk. So there's something about you being able to take a leap of faith at a time when you did not feel that it was, you know, there is a leap of faith here. And it's really interesting because these two look quite fiery and purpley. They look like that sunset fire kind of vibe. So this 8 of Wands, and it's also fire as well. So it just seems like you taking that step, and it might be the fact that you ask support from a friend, or you might do some kind of, like, I don't know, investment or something like that. That happens to be a risk, and it could be really, like, it could F everything up. But instead, what it does is, you know, you understand the risks. You it's calculated. So I think you're doing things in the right way, if that makes sense. Okay. And we've got roots here. For those of you that this resonates for family, then this is about your roots. So where you came from, what made you who you are. So even if, like, you know, you might not have got on with family, you might not, you know, resonate with your family or your roots or where you came from, but it's still part of you and who you are. So I think it's important to recognize that wherever you came from, even if it's to do with the job, if it's to do with work, then remember where you came from previously in terms of the work ethic and the work, you know, what brought you here to this job. And then if this is to do with family, then remembering where you came from, because even if you've got the most like kind of like horrible childhood, it's still made you who you are today. So, you know, all of those trials and tribulations made you who you are. Every moment, every way that things could have happened, it made you who you are today. So just remember that and the beauty that you are today. And it's really interesting because it's a willow, and willows weep. So they've got that kind of like thing of where they keep on looking down at their roots. They arch down to their roots. And the reason why I'm saying that is because I sourced some willow wood for the some of my shamanic instruments that I make. And it's just beautiful. Like it's a very flexible, and also it goes near to water, so that means it really understands their emotions. Like it understands the flow of emotions and how important that is to like the ecosystem. To, you know, it kind of really understands the integration of the element of earth and water very well, which is, you know, home, stability, and emotions. So something to think about there. And then our last card for you, pile 1. Oh, I love this card so much. I love this deck. Oh my God, it's so hot. And all the decks will be listed below, so just check those out. But here we got the Veil, which is number 2, which is a little bit high priestessy, but it also kind of signifies the time that we're in at the moment, which is when I'm doing this, which is at the end, like mid-September. I'm doing this on the 14th of September. So at the moment, the veil is thin. At the moment, the veil is there. Whether or not, like, even if you choose to watch this at a different time of the year, the energy of the veil being at where it is important to you at the time of when you're watching this. So just take notice of that. And this is why this stuff is happening. So just be aware that spiritually and, you know, supernaturally, things can be happening. Pile 1. I hope you enjoyed that reading. That was really cool. Really cool reading. If you liked it, please do give it a thumbs up. Please do subscribe for more videos. I've got loads more, and I've got a playlist as well. They're all timeless, so do check them out. Do like, comment, share, subscribe, all that good stuff, because the more you if you wish, of course, please don't feel pressured to do so, only if you wish to. The more you do that, if you did like the video, the more people can find this video and receive the messages, which is, you know, my primary goal, for you to benefit from the messages that I give to you, so that I can help you. But otherwise, have a wonderful morning, evening, night, whenever you're choosing to watch this, all day. And remember, my darlings, honesty is always key. Bye. Pile 2, hello and welcome to your reading. So you chose this beautiful pink lepidolite heart, as you can see, really beautiful. Lepidolite heart, I mean, this heart is just, there's something really comforting about this heart. I mean, whenever crystals are shaped in a heart shape, there is something about that, about some kind of nurturing love. I mean, obviously love, yeah, but I don't know, with this lepidolite, there's just this sense of like nurturing that I sense. Nurturing, kindness to oneself, invoking a sense of love, maybe a kind of more increased sense of care towards oneself is what I'm sensing. And what's really interesting is that I changed the lighting to be a little bit warmer as well. So I don't know if you have a look at the video before, like the pile before and then this pile, I don't know, I felt guided to just give it a really nice warm tone. So here we are. So there's something about giving yourself more warmth in this time where maybe you didn't. Wow. So your card is, I trust that there are unseen forces collaborating with me to create the life I want. I love that. So it's interesting. I think, like similar with pile 1, it's about you taking decisive action for a life that you want, for something that you want to do right now. That's what I'm sensing right now, particularly with the heart and this card. Lepidolite is, let me just double check what it's actually like, what's good about it. But I mean, I told you my initial kind of thing. Lepidolite crystal. So encouraging emotional healing and hope. I always feel comforted whenever I wear lepidolite. It looks so beautiful as a natural stone, so it's really shiny and gorgeous. It's slightly mica-esque, so it's got that beautiful pink sheen. But and yeah, I do have some lepidolite jewelry that I made. I remember I usually make jewelry with raw forms of the crystals, and the lepidolite piece I have is very sparkly because it's kind of like with crystals and with mica, but it's very nurturing. It reminds me of how much I need to like allow myself to love myself, if that makes sense. So I think that's what's happening here. So with that being said, I'm going to start with the tarot straight away. I hope that the light's okay. I just feel like I need something kind and warm. Okay, right, so we've got the Six of Cups, and then we've got the Ace of Swords reversed, right. This might not be for everyone, but I do feel that there may be some kind of like trauma that has happened in the past, and it may be early. It could be to do with the father. And what I'm sensing is that wow, okay. That looks really hard. So this is really specific, but I don't know if, it won't resonate for everyone, obviously, because this is a collective reading. But what's really interesting is that some of you may be traumatized by a past parent. I do see the father. And if it was the father, maybe for some of you, your mother was someone who was an amazing source of, it feels like there was some good females in your life, and then it seems like there wasn't some good females in your life. It also feels that because the Queen of Wands, when she's reversed, she's like a total bitch. She's not very nice at all, and the Emperor is the ultimate dictator / kind of most awful man-like character that you can get. Whereas the Queen of Cups upright is the management of the emotions. And it's really interesting how we have this, like, we've got an iridescent kind of purple vibe going on here. It's drawn in. It's not like, that looked really crazy. It's actually like just a painting. But what's really interesting is that these cards are actually iridescent purple. You can't really see it on here, but they are incredible cards. So I think, maybe you were someone that needed to kind of escape to your dreams, because maybe the reality was or escape to like another form of reality, or escape to another place. Like they have, I don't know, we used to have it a lot in like 80s children's films, that that there'd be a kid that's going through a lot, and then they escape to like this mystical world where they just kind of like meet all of these incredible characters. It happened with the Never-Ending Story. I'm trying to think like what other films that happened with, but I'm sure you'd remember some if you were born in the 80s. But like there's that kind of vibe that's going on, and it could be that the father figure kind of remarried, and then there's this kind of figure who is not very nice. Or it could be that because of this, there's been an element of like some bitchy behavior that has been a residue of the kind of damage that's happened with the Emperor. The reason why I say that is because we've got the Six of Cups reversed here, and we've got the Ace of Swords. So there was absolutely no communication that was allowed in this space. And this was something that happened in the past. So, and it was also a very it was a traumatic experience. Six of Cups reversed is not a nice thing, really, that's happened in the past. It's usually quite bad memories. But we do have the Queen of Cups here, which says to me that the emotional stability was there. There can be unforeseen forces collaborating with me to create the life I want, which is kind of what gave me the idea to like thinking that, you know, it reminds me a little bit of like, if any of you have read, oh God, I've forgotten the book. It's such an incredible book. It's by a guy called Viktor Frankl. It's one of the best books I've ever read, and it's a life-changing book. And so many people, particularly like like Gabor Mate, a lot of other kind of like psychologists, trauma specialists, they refer to it. And I've just forgotten what it is that I was going to say about it. Oh yeah. So basically it is that this guy was in a concentration camp, and he was his whole entire family you know, was terminated in that camp, and his ability to be able to survive was due to the fact that he was thinking about how he was going to teach people and talk about his experiences within the space. I think it's Man's Search for Meaning. That's what it's called. Viktor Frankl, Man's Search for Meaning. It's incredible. And I've just realised the film this has reminded me of, like Pan's Labyrinth, if you've seen that. It's that whole idea of escapism. And that's what I'm seeing here by this Queen of Cups, that there's been this real sense of escapism. Now, this could be on a collective level as well, considering like there's a lot of stuff going on. So, yeah. That's interesting. I wanted to keep on going with this. So, what's coming next for you? Well, this is the kind of background. So, I think this is where you're coming from. Let's see where you're going. Let's see what's coming next. It could also be that you've come from like a negative situation, and that it's been influenced by a negative like father figure, and you've been finding that you've been going into a certain pattern of behavior that you don't really like. So now you're looking to like change something, or there could be someone here that is really not helping you to be in your best self. But there is a real need for like love, because I had to put it in this like pinky hue. There's something about healing here. Okay. So we've got the Five of Pentacles, which is clarifying the Six of Cups, which in a way resonates with that sign of, you know, that sense of, you know, not really being able to like receive what you want within a situation, particularly if you're a child in a situation. The Ten of Wands with the Ace of Swords. Now the Ten of Wands, you know, is a card of burdens. It's a card of, you know, that we have to try and do our best so that we can be our best. But it's almost like picking up the slack again. We're trying to do, we're trying to make it work again, even though we don't know. It's pretty intense, actually. I wasn't expecting it to be this intense, but yeah. So let's have a look. Queen of Cups. Wow. Okay. Okay, there's a lot of women here that are just like not feeling great here. I'm really... Yeah. So we've got the Queen of Cups, and then we've got the Queen of Swords reversed. The Queen of Swords reversed says to me that this is the kind of self-attack that happens when you're in a situation where you're not really valued as much as you could be. Particularly if you're in an oppressive situation. And you've got the Queen of Cups twice. And that's the Emperor. That's clarifying the Emperor. So it could be, this is really interesting. The same, like part one, I feel like there is a healing of generational trauma going on here. Because the Emperor is clarified by the Queen of Cups. That to me would say that this is a possibility of a father figure whose mother drank, you know. It could be that. It could be, or has had an influence of a person or woman in their lives who drinks a lot. That's what I kind of like see with the Queen of Cups reversed. But even if it's not to do with drink, it could be to do with any other kind of narcotics, or it could be to do with it could be to do with like some serious emotional instability. And the last card to come out to clarify the Queen of Wands is, wow, the Ace of Swords upright. Interesting. Okay, right. So this is what I see happening. So this has been like quite a shitty situation by the looks of things that has caused you to like really reassess what it is that you're doing. And now you're looking for a way out. Yeah, I think it's really interesting. There's just been so much healing going on that there's this recognition of external family circumstances. I'm not really seeing work. It could be work, but I am seeing more familial family kind of happenings here. It could be as far as like a narcissistic family dynamic. I'm not really seeing narcissist, but Emperor reversed is pretty much close to it. That would be more like the Magician, but it could be like a narcissistic dynamic, and then basically like you've got some codependents that are like working there within the situation that are causing this kind of stuff to, you know, this is what you're having to deal with. So what this is all looking like is, because there's been this situation with this Queen of Wands in reverse, who's been this bitch and been not very nice. And this could also be aspects of yourself, right? I do also see that this could be like shadow work that you're doing. If that is happening, then I don't know, there's some kind of moment of clarity. I'm quoting Jay-Z there. There's like a real moment of clarity where you're kind of thinking, right, I need to communicate about this, because we had the Ace of Swords here where you weren't able to say something, but now there's been a burst of light, quite literally, with this card. And now you're thinking, right, I'm going to have to make a change now. And it's interesting how this Ace of Swords is held by a woman. So, and then we've got all these queens. So it's almost like you're seeing all of these females around you that are not really being good role models. And now, and even though you know, I don't know, there's some kind of withstanding within you because you're upright. This Queen of Cups is upright. And I don't know who else it could be but you. It has to be you. It could be somebody else, but I think it's you. I feel it's you. So, with that in tow, with all of that, what's coming next for you, pile 2? Sorry, I didn't mean to get so deep there, but it is what it is. I say what I see, baby. Right. Okay, can we please clarify the Five of Pentacles? Eight of Cups. Okay. I might need to just move the camera down a little bit so that you can see the cards. Bear with me, my loves. Okay, that's a bit better. Right, okay, so you've got the Eight of Cups here. Eight of Cups reversed. Wow. Oh, I love this, lovers. Right, okay. Okay, so we've got the Knight of Wands reversed here. We've got the Seven of Swords. The Lovers. So this has all been a quest in terms of finding out how you can love yourself truly. Oh God, why do they land like that? That means it has to be like this. Wow, Ten of Cups. Okay, I have to put it like that because that's the way it landed. So you're making a choice to embrace happiness, okay? Pile 2. Now, this is pretty complicated, so hear me out. There has been some deep conditioning and some deep patterning here. And there is also a sense of like lying to oneself in order to allow oneself to kind of be subject to the self-deprecating behavior that causes oneself to stay within a particular dynamic. And trust me, I don't talk about any of this stuff unless I've gone through it. I'm going or gone through it. So I just say this as it is. But what's really clear here is that you're functioning within the dynamic. So what you're starting to do is you're starting to recognize that you are not going to be able to take things and do things in the way that you did before. And if you were going to make something completely different and you were going to make a real change within this dynamic, you have to make a choice and choose happiness, which is really interesting. You really have to choose it. This Lovers here card is the artist meeting themselves and going to kiss themselves. And then you have the Ten of Cups here. So there's a choice whether or not to embrace the happiness for yourself. I don't want to sound cryptic, but it just seems like I think you're just faced with the choice. I don't think that you've completely come out of the woods yet, because the Seven of Swords is still upright. So it seems to me that there has been this kind of sense of like lying to oneself and, and knowing that they're getting away with it. It could be the perpetrators. It could be the people that are surrounding you. But I don't know. When I see the Seven of Swords, I kind of like think it's like you're lying to yourself in a way. So I feel like, I think there's like trust that has to happen here. And there's a sense of cycles that are happening that you're not able to walk away from completely, because you have to get over this Seven of Swords. You have to recognize, I think what's going on here, right, is that you're starting to recognize that your background may have major influence on your actions that happen today. Yeah, because we started off with the Six of Cups. So maybe there was a part of you that tried to go over this, that tried to plaster over this, that tried to like lock it away. And the image I've got in my head is like, I've seen these things of like where people find these secret rooms like in their houses that people have just hidden, and behind walls and stuff like that, like fake walls. So what I'm thinking is that there's been a bit of an element of that, where you've tried to heal, and the way that you've tried to heal might be that you've just been like completely plastering it over with like loads of stuff, and now you've got an opportunity to be able to embrace your true self and really go for what makes you happy, like emotionally. It could be a relationship. It could be that, maybe you've met someone and they actually are starting to open you up to the possibility that love is a real thing because it wasn't available to you previously. Like from your caregivers. But I don't know. I mean, this is a general reading, a general tarot reading on YouTube. You know better than me. So that's what's going to happen next. You are going to be faced with a choice of whether or not to choose happiness. And it's your choice. I can't read any more cards because I've gone 3 layers in, and I think I don't feel like I need to. So let's have a look at your oracle cards. Be meticulous and patient. The Spider. Oof, I saw some really, really juicy big spiders today, and they were like, ooh, I don't know. I do shamanic work. I'm meant to be all one with animals, but like seeing spiders. Ooh. But I mean, what was really interesting is that I just kind of saw myself while these big chunga spiders, like kind of. I'll tell you what I was doing. I was sawing some wood, and I was like sawing it on this piece of trunk. But the trunk had been like stuck in the corner for ages. So when I started to do that, then these spiders just came, like loads of spiders, loads of animals, everything. Oh God, it's making me shiver. Came out. And I was like, oh my God, I could have got really freaked out, but no, I didn't. I ended up sawing what I needed to saw and got it done. So like there's this idea of like, say something can really feel that it's taking its time and it's not really giving you any fruit. Make sure that you are just being meticulous and patient, because particularly with this kind of work, yeah, my friends, you have to be really careful with yourself. You can't really rush, trauma work. It has to be slow, and it does have to be meticulous. Anybody who says that trauma work is easy and quick is not telling you the truth. I'm sorry. I will flat out tell you that. Because I don't believe that you can get long-term results from quick results of healing trauma. It's bullshit. It's absolute bullshit. If you have healed quickly from some kind of trauma, then that means that you had already been quite a long way in your healing journey already, I think, personally. But it's just my opinion. I think it's just my opinion. The only thing is that like I've seen a few people who have tried to heal, particularly when they're coming to, like, say, for example, shamanic work and whatnot, and then they go for soul retrievals, and then yes, their lives do change, but it involves incremental, implemented, consistent work, and that's what that's about. So what this is saying is, don't expect any miracles, but you are moving into a space where you can embrace happiness. How you do that? That's where we kind of like, that's where you need to work, really. Okay, so we've got the Mount of Luna. Now, I'm not sure whereabouts on the hand that is, so let me just have a quick look in the book, because I'm not that great with Mount of Luna. Let's have a look. Oh, where are you? Oh, all right. 64, page 64. So, the Mount of Luna is this part of the hand, the fleshy part of the hand. And it means it represents the irrational. It represents the irrational part, the part that that lies between the consciousness, beyond the consciousness. So this is the subconscious, unconscious self. Intuition, imagination, dream, sensitivity. It is the place where the resources are hidden, which should be used to grasp the subtle elements of existence. Bright and mysterious, full of craters. So it's the moon, essentially. It's a mountain. It is a mountain only you can only descend. So this is a path that you need to walk. There are doors to stairs and windows open to the dark. There are your secrets and things you have yet to invent. The words you have said as a child and forgotten. Look inside and explore. Wow. So, I mean, this is like full-on shadow work here. So you might be delving into the shadow. This is what this looks like. This looks like you're embarking on a shadow journey. Your timing is perfect. Because if you're watching this when this is filmed, we're about to go into like the kind of darker aspect, winter aspect of the year. So, and that's usually like a really good time to do this work. It doesn't matter if it's not. Usually in the summertime, I like to be outside. But if you are watching this and it's summertime, then, maybe that's the time for you to do this work, But I definitely see some kind of like in-depth shadow work that's going on here. Pile 2. Okay, I want to do this one. Community. So I've got a feeling that you will be able to find others that are doing what you're doing. You'll be able to do this work with others so that you're not on your own doing it. And you do find other people. You do. When you do this work, yes, it's tough. But you do find other people. You can find other people to help you with this. To help you, people that have had to deal with this. Because there's a lot of pain here. I'm not going to lie. Like, there's a lot of pain. Not pain that you haven't dealt with, because there's no 3 of Swords. I think, the whole immediate grief of it all is kind of dealt with, but I'm feeling like this is like pain that's been kind of suppressed in a way, and now you're realizing that you have to deal with it now. It's like that empty that cupboard that you haven't like dealt with, and you've just been sticking everything you can in there because it's really good to stick things in there because it makes everything tidy. That's what I'm getting here. So, and I mean, it's not too severe. Like, it's not like seven of, in terms of your thing, right? In terms of your own personal reaction to it. What happened to you? I don't know. Like that looks to me like it was something pretty intense. So that's its own thing. But in terms of how you've dealt with it, it's just that, now you're realizing that your coping mechanisms are just not going to be applicable now. You need to change the way that you cope with things in order to live your life in a really positive way, or the way that you want. I hope that makes sense. I really do. Because, I don't know, it just seems to be coming out. And I don't exactly know, well, I do know what it means, but, obviously this is a collective reading, but this feels exceptionally personal. So I'm just putting a warning out there. Don't come for me. This is just like me giving out the messages and seeing what comes out and just trying to help you. And if it doesn't help, just switch it off, man. Just like take it off and go somewhere else. Okay, so we've got this one here, number 55, inspiration. Wow. Powerful card. Tune into your inner child. Tune into your inner child and remember, not all who wander are lost. That's meant to be wander, WANDER. But anyway, but I'm sure it means that as well. I don't know. That play on words doesn't hit right with me, but that's what happens when you got your Mars in Virgo. Right, anyway, give yourself permission to laugh, play and relax. Nature's wisdom will surprise you with spontaneous inspiration as you adventure through your path. I mean, that's what I'm getting here, pile 2. I'm getting here that this is tough, what you're doing. You are kind of digging up some shit, but you're going to get some real gems from this. Like, you really are reaching for your happiness. You are going to feel so much happier if you don't already from the actions that you're taking. But just be meticulous. You just got to keep on at it, like, and take it slowly. Like, you don't need to be fast. Just take all the time you need, and I think it will. Like, we don't have many pentacles here, so I don't think that this is going to take a long time. Actually, we don't have any pentacles here, so I don't think it's really going to take that long. You just have to be patient with yourself. Okay, be kind to yourself. That's what this lepidolite heart is telling you. Please be kind to yourself while you're doing this. Okay. Wow. Something that takes effort or employment. An effort or employment. Interesting. So what I see by this is that you're going to have to work at it. There's going to be something that you're going to have to work at, because I don't think that you're going to be able to manage this as easily as you thought. So just be aware of that. It's going to take work. And I hear that because, sometimes we think that things are really going to be really easy. And they're not easy. Like, I've got a bit of a delay. I'll share with you. Like, I've got a delayed reaction when it comes to stuff. So I'll deal with it, particularly like massive emotional trauma. And then afterwards it comes like a tsunami. Like, I will just have to be comatose for like maybe a couple of weeks. Whatever, however long it takes. It hits me like a 10-ton truck, like later. So I brace the impact. I deal with the impact initially, and then I crumble. That's how it kind of works. So and that takes work. Like, so then there's kind of some things to understand about like how your personality works within these situations. So how do you manage those things? Becoming older, things are not as easy as they once were. Having expectations about stuff, they're not as easy as they once were. They're not as simple as they once were. Just understanding that about yourself and where you are right now, I feel is really important for this. So I think the main message from this reading is that what is coming for you next, or what's coming next, is that you are going to start delving into shadow work, and you're going to start to understand yourself from a whole new perspective in terms of your limitations and how you are going to be able to deal with things for this part of your life. Okay, so last card. Oh my God. Well, that's the Hermit. And then we've got Virgo right at the top, but that's the Soul here. It's indicative of the Hermit, but it's not the Hermit. And it's really interesting because we have the Soul here. It's not the Hermit, even though, as I said, it seems like the Hermit, but it's not. And you know what really gets me here? The fact that we've got loads of lamps here and we've got community here. So you are going to find your people, pile 2. You're going to find your people that help you in this. You really are. You're all going to be lights for each other. And another thing that just came to me, there's more than one way to light a lamp. Okay, so the way that one person does something may not work for another, but that's the beauty of it all. Thousands of different ways to light a lamp. So remember that. But with Virgo being there, being meticulous and patient, that's going to really be what helps you during this time that's coming up. What a deep reading, pile 2. I didn't expect it to go that deep. I hope it was helpful. I really hope you liked it. I'm just sending you such a big hug. Oh God. I'm not going to get emotional, but sending you so much love. If you liked it, please do give it a thumbs up, because that really helps the algorithm and helps other people to find this reading. It may help them too. Share if you wish. But otherwise, my friends, have a wonderful morning, evening, night, whenever you're choosing to watch this. And remember that honesty is always key. Bye. Pile 3, hello and welcome to your reading. I'm sorry about that little shake there, and I hope you're doing really well. We've got this gorgeous blue kyanite here. And kyanite is the stone of strength, resilience, truthfulness. It really reminds me of the Ace of Swords, blue kyanite. But like a lighter version that's blue. I don't know if you can see that, because I've got a warm tone on my lighting here. But I mean, this piece was given to me as a gift, and I remember being really shocked when this person gave it to me, because I thought that this is such a beautiful piece of kyanite, and then they just gave it to me and said, yeah, Reena, I want you to have it. And that really shocked me. And it was such a beautiful act of love and kindness. So what I'm getting from this is that truth and love will have a real sense of clarity coming up in whatever's coming next for you. Pile 3. Being able to discern what is the truth. Another thing that's coming up to mind is that the blue kyanite is one of the only stones that doesn't need to be cleansed. Kyanite doesn't need to be cleansed. So I don't think that this is more about a kind of piercing of the veil, a piercing of, in a way, reality, a piercing of a new understanding of reality, like piercing through this, like maybe previous understanding of what you thought reality was. It may be a revelation. It may be that something has come to you a little bit Tower-esque. It may also be that, you know, some big thing has happened that's caused you to kind of reevaluate how you love. Yeah, let's have a look what this says. Wow. I know that while I might not see everything, everything is working in my favor. Wow. That's such a cool card. While I know that while I might not see it, everything is working in my favor. Okay. I need to do the cards. I don't feel like I know what's going on. So let's have a look. But this is what I'm getting, like maybe it's that idea of like trusting in the unknown, like not having the ability to be able to see everything, you know, but just having faith that whatever is happening for your highest good. This is really interesting. I didn't do this with any of the other piles, but I'm doing it with you. So here we are. Okay, so we've got is that the Four of Wands? Yep. And then we've got the Two of Wands. This is where you've come from. The Knight of Wands, okay. The Two of Swords, reversed. And the Page of Wands. What's all this wand energy, pile 3? I just feel cold all of a sudden. Which is mad because there's just so much fire here. Why am I feeling cold? Knight of Wands, Two of Swords, Page of Wands, Four of Wands. Four awards, Two of Wands. Something feels like you're just going for it, like something that you haven't gone for before, you're just going for it. Like you kind of don't really care how it's going to go. Like, even though you might be scared, and like this character looks quite scared going into the dark forest, they are just going to go. And I think what's happened is that you've actually had like a kind of, as I said, like there's been some kind of epiphany where you're like, it's not so much that you're not going to take it anymore. It's almost like you can't hold it in anymore. So it's interesting because pile 1 was quite similar in the way that, but they had the 10 of Wands here. And the difference between the 10 of Wands and the 2 of Swords is that the 2 of Swords is about withholding what you're saying and not being able to communicate your truth in a way that you'd like to. You have to kind of keep stalemate. You have to keep stush. When the 2 of Swords is reversed, that says to me that there's like an outburst. It means that you just have to say what you got to say. Page of Wands reversed says to me that I don't know if it's like totally well received. But what's really interesting is that even then there still seems to be some kind of happy outcome, even though like there's been this thing where it hasn't been entirely positive. But everything around here, this Page of Wands, okay, I see what it is. It's actually you haven't learned anything really new from this. It's very similar like message through all of the readings, which is just nuts how this stuff works. But like, it's this whole story of like realizing that you don't want to stand for any BS anymore. And now you're taking responsibility and action, and it's giving you a lot of happiness. That's pretty much what I see. Let's clarify this, because I don't know, there's something else here. And it's happening all rather quickly, you know? All this wand energy. You may be Sagittarius, you may be Leo, you may be Aries. All of these aspects may be in you at some point, like maybe in one of your houses, or you've got big aspects with the planets, with those signs. It could be that your north or south node is in Leo, so, or like something like that. But yeah, there's something here of that. Interesting. Knight of Wands with Death reversed. There's been a really strong flavor of like generational kind of healing for all of the piles. So I don't know if that's relevant. It might be, might not. If you are attracted to the other piles, do check them out. Because this reading's been deep. Right, okay. We've got Two of Swords. And then this one is the Chariot. Okay. Yeah. Oh my god, look at this card. Like, you don't mean business. You know what I was saying about like the whole thing with the Two of Swords being the, I'm just going to say what I've got to say. I'm not holding my tongue anymore, because that's what the Two of Swords is. It's that stalemate, not being able to hold, like holding your tongue, not being able to communicate your truth because you don't want to upset anybody. The Chariot is like, I don't give a flying monkeys. Fajita. I don't give a flying fajita. Yeah. With that white tiger behind you as well. Love it. Oh, wow. We've got the Page of Wands and the Seven of Swords. So, so what I'm seeing from this Page of Wands is that there is old patterns that are not been kind of heeded. Maybe there's been like before in the past, which is why that Kyanite has come into play. Maybe there's been this sense of denial that's occurred. And that's really interesting because it really resonates with, it's similar to pile 2 in that way. But that's really interesting. Really, really interesting. Wow, that's such a weird Seven of Swords. Right? It's got someone telling stories. So what stories are you telling yourself, pile 3? Okay, Five of Swords. Okay, so we've gone from the wands to the swords. Five of Swords. So you've allowed yourself to, you've realized that you must accept defeat in order to procure happiness, right? Wow, Four of Swords. Okay. Okay, I think that some of you may be in some kind of like confrontational thing maybe with someone. And you have to like kind of step back from the drama in order to be actually winning in this situation, I feel. Because it's kind of like you've entered this situation where you've like been like, right, okay, I've said my bit and now I just have to go and I just have to, you know, maybe you did something wrong. Maybe you did something that did, like, for example, you know, you didn't realize that it was something that you did wrong. Maybe there was some kind of way that you behaved in the past that you may have thought was okay, and now you're realizing that it wasn't good, because that would clarify, and that would make sense to me with the Page of Wands. Like, why would the Page of Wands be reversed if the Seven, like, you know, why would it be reversed when you've got all of these other beautiful cards? So I don't know. Some of you may have stepped on other people in order to get some happiness, and now maybe you're realizing the fruit of your labors. And joy, I think, you know, there's this kind of like really reconsidering things, because you got the Five of Swords reversed, swords upright. So it says to me that there's like this sense of defeat. Maybe it did happen. Maybe that there was this sense that you did have to step on people in order to get to somewhere, but it's just the way it happened, and it wasn't done maliciously. It just is what it is. That might be a thing as well. I'm trying to think like what other scenarios there are. Yeah, and I mean that this could be applicable to all, you know. It could be applicable to family, it could be applicable to work, could be applicable to a loved one, could be applicable to a friend. There's so many situations that dynamic could be applicable to. So I don't think it's specific. It just feels like what's happening now is that there's realizations that have, you know, that you know that you can't live like that anymore. You know that you can't behave like that anymore. Death reversed is clarified by the Four of Swords again. So I don't know, maybe you're like meditating. Maybe you're like really contemplating what has happened, because you're not taking any action right now. You're just, because I feel like you're just like, you know, I don't want to rock the boat, basically. Okay, and then we've got the Sun, Two of Swords, the Sun. Then we've also got the Empress. Okay. Okay. Wow, the Lover's reversed. Okay. Yeah, okay. Sorry. Should stop saying okay and just tell you what I'm seeing. Bear with me. Okay, 2 keep on wanting to come out, but I'm only going to take 1, so it doesn't matter how many times you do 2, I will only ask for 1. Okay, thank you. Oh my God, okay. So for those of you that this is to do with a relationship, it could be to do with like a breakup. It could be to do with like some kind of breakup where you've had to just say how it is, and then you've just had to cut your losses and get the F out. Because if you don't, it may be that you're dealing with someone that actually isn't able to like really compromise with you, because you know, you're so much happier now. And you're so much happier now, but like there's just like, I think that there must have been some kind of like toxic dynamic going on with a relationship. It could also be with like some kind of partnership or some kind of situation that was happening, but it seems like that you were entangled in some kind of situation that you weren't able to speak properly at, and you kind of like maybe like made excuses for it by the looks of things, and then you were in a kind of like happy situation. But then, you know, there's kind of like this realization that if you continue to kind of like feed this thing, which is why there's been no movement, then you'll move into something that is happier, because you're actually saying what you're supposed to be saying, because there is movement here. There's absolute movement. So when you're actually communicating your truth and doing what you're supposed to be doing, like, you know, talking, communicating, saying what, you know, really communicating effectively with your partner, family, whoever it is, then you actually are putting yourself first. There is a sense of like you not choosing them though. You're like going, it's almost like you're kind of forsaking the relationship side and you're just going for yourself, which I'll be honest, it kind of like feels that it feels good, feels really good. What kind of situations could I like give you this as an example? So it could be that, you know, you're in a narcissistic family dynamic. I use this like with one of the other groups, but like it could be that you're in like some controlling relationship with someone, and there was a sense of belief where you felt that you were happy within that relationship. Be that with a parent, be that with a, you know, tutor, teacher, be that with a social group, whatever. But now there's this sense of you breaking off. I don't feel like you're going to be completely on your own, because there ain't no hermit around or anything like that. Like, I don't feel like that. But I do know that you are going to be like a lot happier. A lot happier. Either that, or like coming back to the first situation, which was a little bit more abstract, like the idea of like you realizing that maybe you were quiet about something that you shouldn't have been quiet about. And then there's been that kind of sense of you being able to capitalize upon that. Which I don't know. I don't feel like that, particularly with the Four of Swords, the 2 4 of Swords, or maybe it could have been like that, and then the 2 4 Swords there are rehabilitate, like, you know, kind of reflection of like behavior that happens. You know, sometimes we realize how shitty we've been to people, and then we're like, oh no, you know, that's not really great. So how can we be better people? And these two really signify that. And by not taking the same choice that you would have done before, like not a selfish choice, it feels like a choice that's for other people, you know. It doesn't feel like it's a choice specifically for you and your gain. It feels like this is more, no, it is for your gain. What am I trying to say? Like, it doesn't feel like it's the choice that's meant to kind of keep other, like it's made for other people. Do you know what I mean? Like, it's not because you want to keep a relationship or you want to be in with the crowd or you want to like please other people. It's because you want to do this for you. Does that make sense? I'm going on a bit, pile 3, so I need to stop. I'm like jibber-jabbing on, but I hope that makes sense, because this is pretty complicated. I didn't expect this to be this complicated. It's gone really deep. Like each of the readings have gone like super deep, and I didn't expect that. But don't I always say this? Anyway, right. So let's have a look at this one. Harmony, head. Wow. Okay. So that's the headline in the palm. Don't ask me where it is, because I don't know. You can go and look that up on Google. But, well, I'll find out in a minute anyway, and then I can tell you. So let's have a little look. So the headline is oriented towards the middle of the Mount Luna, and this indicates well-developed reasoning, pliability, and great understanding, as well as imagination and a relationship to one's darker inner world. So it's like that section there. And those who have the line in this position do not lose contact with the unconscious, nor with logic or the talent of rationalizing or rationally analyzing situations. Okay. Tap into Dorothy's confidence in the Wizard of Oz. She knows the safety of her home, but she also allows it to fly away in a tornado. One of the greatest gifts is to create harmony between the rational and irrational, and how to grasp the finite nuances that bind black and white. I mean, I'm not going to lie, like that really does encapsulate like what this reading was about. That's probably why I was just kind of like, I don't know where I'm standing here, because there's just, I can really see both sides here. So, and we don't have any temperance. We don't have any, it's not about like, there may be like Libra signs here. So, but I don't know, there's just something about being able to see both sides in a way. And it feels like it's from true experience and not just from a perceived perception. Does that make sense? Okay. Wow, water. Okay. Well, there's no Libra there, so no. Okay, so we've got Scorpio, Pisces, and Cancer. Emotions are at their peak, which they are. I think you're having to manage them. If there's been some kind of emotional kind of like thing that's been going on, just take it easy on yourself, okay? Because this is quite a lot to deal with. Okay, gateway. Yeah, I mean, that is exactly what that is. That is a gateway to another kind of way of thinking, of you being able to really see what both sides are. There's something here that's encouraging you to look at what beyond what you understand, beyond what you are currently in contact with. So just keep that in mind. I hope this is making sense, because this is pretty confusing, this reading. So just bear with me. If it's not your reading, switch off. If it resonates, oh, that's amazing. I'm so glad. Okay, so we've got number 6, unconditional love. Nurture your relationships with unconditional love, starting with the most important one of all, the one with yourself. Open your heart, radiate love, and embrace it in return. Let the essence of love and kindness and compassion be the guiding force of every decision and action that you take. So, okay, to sum up, right, what I think is going on here is that you have had a moment of clarity that's allowed you to be able to make the best decisions for yourself that engage in love and compassion and good thoughts and good actions, where previously you might not have been so conscious of that. You might have just been like, I don't really care about other people, and I'm just going to do what I'm going to do. But now it just feels that you now are taking more charge of how your actions affect other people and how your actions reverberate within this universe. I think that's what this is saying, because you've got 2 really powerful cards here. Really powerful. And the Lovers. So you've got 3 majors here. And you had a couple of majors before. So I think that's what's happening. Okay. And then we've got protection. Okay, protection from physical, emotional harm or injury. Now, I I didn't learn it today, but I got reminded today that it's very important, and it's something that I took away with me on my 20-day silent retreat when I went away a little while ago. Thoughts equal words equal actions. So positive thoughts equal positive words equal positive actions. Negative thoughts equal negative words equal negative actions. That is like, and it's something that comes from the nobility of your speech, of your thoughts, and of your actions. So meaning that how your thoughts are dictate how your words are, dictate how your actions are. So this is something to think about. And anything that you say against yourself or any other people, they tend to injure you in ways that you could never imagine. And they reverberate, you know, they're like a snowball. So you have to be really mindful of what you say. And you have to be really mindful of how this could reverberate in the ether, you know? So just be aware of that, because that will help you to be more protected. Yeah. Okay, there's no room on that side, so I'll put that there. Okay. And the last card, pile 3 of this intense reading, which I wasn't expecting to be so intense, but it has been pretty insane. Wow, the etheric realms. And that is Pisces. So we come back to the moon, to the water signs here. This is giving me 12th house energy, you know, 12th house, the moon energy. Well, this card is like the number of the moon. But there are different, I don't know, is the moon Pisces? I can't remember. But yeah, like, there's something about you connecting to different realms of reality in order for you to fully understand how you kind of take things forward. That could also be a thing. You could be, you know, going to that space where you're starting to connect with your spirit guides, your ancestral guides that are beyond the veil, who are working on the spiritual level, on the unseen level. What do we have here? Yeah, that's what that head is a little bit about. But also we've got gateways here. So I think there's that understanding of that. I don't know, some of you may have like gone through some kind of like thing, or are going through something that's causing you to connect with your spirituality in a deeper way. I don't see that here with the tarot specifically, but I feel like that might be happening, and that might be contributing. So that is what is next for you, Part 3. I hope you enjoyed this reading. It was insane. If you did like it, please do give it a thumbs up. Please do subscribe for more videos. Thank you so much for all of your support and your love. You just are all the best. I love you all. And just giving you a big squeeze and hug. And yeah, thank you for watching. Have a wonderful morning, evening, night, whenever you're choosing to watch this. If you did like it, do give it a thumbs up or subscribe or whatever, because it just helps people to see this reading, because this reading is supposed to help people, and that's what it's there for. So if you help with the algorithm, then more people will see it, and it'll be great. Love you lots, my beautiful collective. Take care. Have a beautiful day, morning, evening, night. And remember that honesty is always key. Bye.